So we'll begin with today's session. Keep your back and neck straight. Sit comfortably. And when you feel ready, very gently close your eyes. Just start connecting with the natural flow of your breathing. Watch each breath as you inhale and as you exhale. Slowly shift your attention to your body. Check your posture. Check your alignment. See if you need to make any adjustment so that you can be in a much better position. Now gently come back to your breathing and consciously begin to deepen the breath. Slow, long and deep inhalations. Slow, long and deep exhalations. We will open today's session by chanting Om 3 times, followed by 3 Shantis. Take a deep breath in for Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Join your palms together. Begin to rub your palms together. Keep your palms on your eyes. Very slowly, while blinking and looking at your palms, begin to open up your eyes, coming back with a big smile. Om Shanti. Namaste to everyone. Let us begin our session for today. So yesterday we had finished the practice of Nadi Shodhana properly, and today we are going to start with a new topic, and this topic is again very familiar to you guys. I think most of you, even if you have ever practiced pranayama in your life, you would have gone for this practice also, right? So the name of the practice we are going to cover today is Kapalbhati, Kapal, Kapal, Bhati, Bhati, Kapalbhati. And in modern times, this is a pranayam. But if you actually go back to the Hatha Yogic texts, you will see this thing that this practice is actually a practice of cleansing, right? So when before the pranayam, basically, the cleansing is done before the pranayam. So as per modern yogis and gurus, they have included this in the practice of pranayam. But if you follow the traditional approach, you will see this thing that this is actually a practice of cleansing or shat karma. Shat karma, you in your pre-recorded videos also, if you will see, you have certain practices. So you have the practice of jal neti, right, where you pour the water, like you get a special kind of pot and you place that adjust that pot into one of your nostrils, and then you tilt your head and you let the water move out of the other nostril, right? So like jal neti, even Kapalbhati is a cleansing practice, and hence it needs to be done before the pranayam practices, so that again everything is clear, right? So the road is clear so that you can do the pranayam practices, right? So this term Kapalbhati, you can divide it into two. So where you have written Kapalbhati, just make a line in between. After the term Kapal, Kapal, you can just divide that. And the second word in this is Bhati. Kapal plus Bhati, right? So in order to understand the practice more deeply, we will first start with the name itself. Kapal means the forehead, this region, right? This is the Kapal, right? And Bhati, this means your light, splendor, or you can also, some people they say Bhati means knowledge, right? So when you do Kapalbhati, basically there is the cleansing of this region, which leads to knowledge, which leads to light, right? Because you are cleaning this area, right, which leads to knowledge, right? So right now this area is not cleansed, so there are a lot of things that the practitioner, maybe for some reason or the other, there is no understanding, right? So in a spiritual sense, the knowledge is being talked of, right, when we use the term Bhati. And if you look at it from the point of view of the Shat Karma, so it is cleaning the mucus, right? When you do Kapalbhati, there is so much force that is applied during this practice that by default there is cleansing of the lungs and even the nostril region, right? If you have cold, you will understand this thing. When you do Kapalbhati, all the mucus, it moves out, right? So it is a cleansing practice again. So you can see, look at it from any point of view. At the end of the day, it's just preparing you for the pranayam practices, right? So again, Kapalbhati is done in a sitting posture. The best posture to do Kapalbhati is sitting posture only. I will just demonstrate the practice and then I will give you some tips, because a lot of people, they again, because Kapalbhati is very easily seen and it's easy to mimic the practice. Most of the people, they mimic the practice and they miss out on the points which are very, very necessary when one practices Kapalbhati, right? So first I will give you a demonstration, proper demonstration of the practice. So for Kapalbhati, you sit with a straight back and neck. So I am just choosing a normal cross leg position. You can go ahead and adopt the lotus pose also. In fact, that is a very good pose for this practice because the body gets locked. And okay, Bhati means shining. Yes, shining, knowledge, splendid. There are multiple meanings of Bhati. Shining is one of them. Thank you for pointing that out. So, yeah, so I was demonstrating the practice to you. So, Kapalbhati, when you do it, you have to make sure your body remains stable, and the nature of the practice is such that it will, give you good reason to move. Okay, so you have to make sure you keep the body stable. Now, some people, because they have good stability in their body, they just choose to sit normally. Okay, for them it is not problematic, but for a beginner, maintaining the stability can become a little bit problematic. So some things that you can do to tackle that: one thing I already told you, you can sit in the lotus pose, right? So that will lock your body, so the movement that will reduce. Second thing that you can do, if you are choosing to sit normally, you can place your hands, palms facing downwards on the knees like this. Okay, and then you can shift the body weight forward, right? So when I place my hands like on my knees and I shift the body weight forward a little bit, not too much, just a little bit, I am placing the weight forward. So I am making sure that my lower back remains straight. Okay, when Kapalbhati is a practice which will have immediate impact on your abdomen, and the next immediate impact will come on the lower back, right? So most people, when they practice Kapalbhati, after that they experience lower back pain, means they have not done the practice properly. Okay, so you have to make sure that your lower back remains straight, right? Okay, so then this is the way in which you can do it, right? So all of my weight is placed on the knees now, and I am tilting my body little bit forward. I will look straight. Okay, and then you begin the practice. So the practice of Kapalbhati, you can write it down. Normally when we inhale, the inhalation is active, and the exhalation is passive in nature. But when we do Kapalbhati, we reverse the process, right? Now my exhalation will become active and my inhalation will become passive. How do I achieve this thing? I achieve this thing with the help of my abdomen, right? When I exhale, I push my abdomen in, I squeeze my abdomen in, and because it is done with force, the exhalation becomes active. And then I just allow the abdomen to expand back. I am putting in no effort. As a result and consequence of pulling the abdomen in with so much force, the relaxation of the abdomen is quite normal, and hence my inhalation becomes passive in nature. Okay, so I will just demonstrate the practice to you. There are 3 different phases in which you can do this practice. Okay, so if you will see any advanced level practitioner, you will notice this thing, that they are doing the practice very fast. Okay, so that is advanced level practice. So what most people do, in order to mimic the practice of Kapalbhati, they start doing that practice in this way very fast, and they miss out on the main point, which is the contraction of the abdomen when you do the active exhalation. Okay, so my goal should be that my navel should get as close to my spine as possible. But when you see somebody who is doing Kapalbhati, advanced level practitioner, and you try to copy, you miss out on this thing. You merely copy the pace at which they are doing, and you miss out on the movement that they are making, or the correct kind of movement. So even you will, contract the abdomen, but the contraction will not be at the level at which it should be, right? So you will miss the essence of the practice. Okay, so I would say for a beginner it is okay to start with the slowest pace, and then as you develop your practice, you can move to a medium pace, and then when you strengthen this level of practice, then you move to the more advanced stage, which is the fast exhalation. Okay, so I will just demonstrate the very slow pace, and then I will also demonstrate the fast pace to you, so that you become aware what I am talking about, and you can choose your own pace. So there is no hurry, right? When it comes to pranayama, there is no hurry. So you can take your time to develop your practice. All right. So just sitting normally. So I like to go for a few breaths before we begin. So this was, I would say, slow pace. You can go slower also, right? So you can have more gap between both your strokes also. So suppose so it is again becoming a little bit more slow. So you can decide your own pace, the beginning pace, right? And then as you practice, you develop your practice, and finally you move to this stage where you are ready for the advanced practice. So advanced practice is quite fast. Okay. Okay, so this was fast paced, right? So last breath, when you go for the last exhalation, suppose you are going for a round of 20, so the last exhalation has to be quite forceful. Okay, like in my last exhalation also, I was expelling out all of the air that was present in my system, and then you allow the body to be at an like allow the body. If it doesn't want to breathe, it doesn't want to breathe. If it wants to breathe, you breathe at the pace at which it wants you to breathe. So there is no set breathing pattern after the practice of Kapalbhati. Some people go into automatic retention, that is also correctly completely fine, and some people they want to breathe, that is also okay, right? There is no restriction on this thing. From your first stroke till your last stroke, your pressure should be equal. Okay, these are things that you will be more aware of when you are doing Kapalbhati than anybody observing you, right? So each and every stroke should be done with the same amount of pressure, first thing. Okay, then this pressure should be such that from the first time that I am doing it till the last time, it remains consistent. So a lot of people who go for the fast form of Kapalbhati, in the beginning they will start with a lot of like good strokes, and by the end they will lose their breath, and their practice will completely go down, right? And then they will end the practice. So this is not correct. From the beginning till the end, the uniformity in the breath should be visible, right? Yeah. Can you repeat? Sorry, you muted yourself.
Yes, sometimes voice is breaking, and so sometimes I can't catch the full sentences.
Okay. Wait. Let me. Okay. I have gotten this closer also, so let's hope it doesn't happen. Let me know if it happens again.
I think it's because of the connection. There's a connectivity problem.
Oh, I am connected to the right Wi-Fi.
Okay.
How is it now? Is it breaking?
Yes, but it's okay. We can hear you and also see you.
Okay, so I'll just switch off my camera for a bit. Maybe the voice will improve. How is the voice now?
Now it's okay, but I hope when you say long sentences, we will understand.
Okay, I will just recap a little bit. Okay, so I was saying this thing that when you do Kapalbhati, a lot of people who go for faster strokes, what happens at that time is the first few strokes are very good, and by the end these strokes lose their strength, right? Because they are going at such a fast pace and their body is not supporting this thing. So when you do Kapalbhati, you can do this thing, right? You can do this thing where you are slowing down your pace, and like I said, you can start with a slower pace. Your main goal should be from the beginning till the end, these strokes remain the same. The pressure should remain the same. The frequency or the gap between two strokes, that should also remain the same when you are doing Kapalbhati. So you have to be careful of this thing. This is a very common error that most people make. Now another other few points which you should be aware of when it comes to Kapalbhati: your lower back should be straight throughout. If it isn't, you will develop a lower back pain. Okay, so either go for the other posture that I have told you, or lock your body. You can go for Padmasana, but any which way you have to ensure that the lower back remains straight. A lot of people, when they do Kapalbhati, what they do is they their face, it becomes very irritated, agitated, because they are applying so much pressure in the abdomen, right? Or their shoulders move, right? So this is again incorrect. The main pressure of the air movement, it is coming from the abdomen, so the face plays no role. So any kind of stress, tension, or some people, they exert extra pressure from the nose so that the exhalation takes place. So this is again not correct. The force is, again I'm repeating, coming from your abdomen, and that is enough to make sure that the air moves out of the body. So any kind of facial changes or movement in the shoulders, that is incorrect. So these are things that you can use, because a lot of students you will teach, they will make these errors again and again. So these are points and tips for you as teachers, right? What you have to take care of or keep an eye out for. And if you are also doing this thing, then start to work on these things in your personal practice. Now Kapalbhati, as you see, it is an intense practice, so it is involving the abdominal muscles. So it is very essential that there is a gap of 3 to 4 hours between a meal and the practice of Kapalbhati. Best way is to practice empty stomach, but just in case you are going for an evening practice, just make sure that 3 to 4 hours gap is there. never practice Kapalbhati at night, okay, because Kapalbhati has the tendency to wake you up, okay. It removes that laziness and dizziness, okay. At any point of time, if you or any of your students, they will feel uncomfortable or dizzy, ask them to completely suspend the practice and do deep breathing, so that they are able to come back to a normal state. Let's look at some contraindications, and then we will look at some benefits, and then we will practice. I hope my voice is not breaking. I mean, it's clear you are able to get everything.
Yes, now it's good.
Okay, great. So, contraindications. When it comes to the contraindications for Kapalbhati, first thing, any kind of heart patient, they have to avoid this practice. High blood pressure, again, avoid this practice. In case of vertigo, avoid. Stroke, avoid. Okay. In case of hernia, again avoid. It is applying too much pressure, okay. And even in the case of gastric ulcer, you have to not perform Kapalbhati. So now onwards, there are a lot of contraindications that I will be sharing. So just make sure you have all of them, because a lot of your students who will come in, learn from you, they will have some difficulty or the other. So you should know pranayama practices, like some asana practices, they are not for everybody. So you have to be careful what you are introducing to them.
Can you repeat please the third one and the sixth one?
Yes.
After high blood pressure.
Yes. Vertigo. And then gastric ulcers. When you have gastric ulcers, you should not do Kapalbhati. Right. Okay. So just be careful if somebody is coming in with these issues. During menstruation, goes without saying, this practice should not be done, because at that point of time, it is the lower abdominal region, that area is already under a lot of stress. So if you go ahead to Kapalbhati, you will increase your pain. Okay. Let's look at the benefits of Kapalbhati. Kapalbhati again has multiple benefits. It is a great cleansing practice, as I said in the beginning. So your lungs, the mucus in the sinuses, it gets cleansed very quickly and easily when you do Kapalbhati. When you do this practice, again the body heat also goes up. So some practices they will reduce the heat of the body, and some of them will increase. So Kapalbhati is a practice which increases the heat or the temperature of the body. So if you are right now at a current temperature, then you do Kapalbhati, then at the end you will feel that the body temperature has risen. Because you exert so much pressure from your abdomen, the abdominal muscles get toned. All the digestive organs, they get stimulated. All abdominal organs are getting stimulated. Digestion becomes much better when one practices Kapalbhati. And I told you, even forehead region, that cleansing is taking place. Then your entire circulation, everything, it is having an impact on your nervous system as well, right? The nervous system, it gets more like active. And Kapalbhati is a great practice if you feel very sleepy, if you tend to be very mentally dull. So anybody around you, if you feel they are very mentally dull, you can make them practice Kapalbhati. They will be ready for more work, they will feel more energized, and they will also at the same time be able to fight this sleepiness. So some people by default or by no apparent cause, their mind remains very dull, and it's okay. All they have to do is get more active. So Kapalbhati provides that kind of activeness. So in breathing, this is what they can do. Apart from this, there are of course a lot of other benefits also, but these benefits are enough, right? When you take classes, even these many benefits, it will be very hard to speak all of them. And it is always good to add benefits when you give instructions to someone you are teaching. It gives them the motivation to continue their practice. So benefits should always be one thing. It should be on your tips, basically. So if there are any questions, doubts, queries, please let me know. Okay. All right. So no questions? Okay. So guys, I will not tell you what pace to choose. Check yourself today, what pace suits you best. And I would say start with the slowest pace, just to see. If you are good at it, then you can increase your pace. So we are going to practice Kapalbhati. So you can keep your books, notebooks aside, and wherever you are, you can sit comfortably. Keep your back and neck straight, and then just close your eyes. Begin to connect with your breathing. Go for the natural flow of the breathing. Don't change the pattern of your breath. Slowly shift your attention to your body. Be stable and comfortable in whatever pose you have chosen. Gently come back to your breathing and slowly elongate the breath. Prepare yourself for the first practice for today, which is abdominal breathing. You can choose to keep one hand on your abdomen, or you can just relax your hands. As you inhale, feel your abdomen rise and expand. As you exhale, contract your abdomen. Allow all the air to move out of your system. Continue this cycle. When you inhale, your abdomen should move out. When you exhale, your abdomen should move in. Keep deepening your breath. After your next round, completely suspend your practice. Come back to the natural breathing. And just observe the change that has come up after the practice of abdominal breathing. We're going to directly practice Kapalbhati. So if you feel the need, you can place your palms on your knees and shift your body weight forward. We are going to take 3 breaths total. So 2 breaths we are going to complete normally, and then on the 3rd breath after the inhalation we begin with the practice of Kapalbhati with the exhalation. Just ensure your lower back is straight. And now just follow my instructions. Take a deep inhalation. Exhale deeply. Inhale deeply. Exhale deeply. Inhale deeply. And begin the practice of Kapalbhati, going for 20 rounds. On your last exhalation, exhale out the breath fully. You can release your hands, shift your body weight back in the center. Just allow your body to breathe as it wants to breathe. You can keep your focus on your abdomen or on the area between both your eyebrows. Just feel the impact of Kapalbhati. We are going to go for 2 more rounds. Keep your back and neck straight. Again, if you feel the need, you can form the required, opt the required position. You can place your palms on your knees and shift your body weight forward. We are going to go for the 3 breaths. Take a deep inhalation. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And now begin the practice of Kapalbhati, this time going for 25 strokes. On your last breath, exhale fully and then just allow the breathing to flow. You can relax your hands and move your body weight back to the center. See the changes that have come in after your practice. If you feel uncomfortable or dizzy at any time, completely suspend your practice and go for deep breathing. We are going to get ready for one last round. So keep your back and neck straight. And we are going to begin with the 3 breaths. Take a deep inhalation. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And with the exhalation, begin Kapalbhati. Go for anywhere between 25 to 30 rounds. If it's not comfortable for you, just go for 25 or 20 rounds. On your last breath, exhale out all the air from your body. And then just check if your body wants to breathe. Let it breathe. Don't change the pace, don't change the rhythm. Keep your back and neck straight. We will close today's session by chanting Om one time, followed by 3 Shantis. First, take one deep breath, take a deep inhalation, and exhale out all the air. Inhale deeply for Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Feel the vibrations. Join your palms together and gently bow down. Begin to rub your palms together. Keep your palms on your eyes. We will do this 2 more times. Rub your palms together. Keep them on the eyes. Last time, rub the palms together. Keep them on your eyes. Very slowly, while blinking and looking at your palms, begin to open up your eyes, coming back with a big smile on your face. Om Shanti. Namaste to everyone.